Kyoto was for centuries the imperial capital of Japan. Famous for its thousands of temples, it is the cradle of Buddhism in the Japanese archipelago. It was here that this new religion from the continent in the 6th century developed dramatically. On a hill north of the city stands one of the most sacred and secret places in Japan, the Temple of Daitoku-ji. A monastery built in the 14th century, which still today trains many monks in the millennial practice of Zen Buddhism. In the heart of Daitoku-ji, the day of the apprentice monk begins well before dawn. Gathered for the collective daily prayer, they recite the sutras, the sacred Buddhist texts, under the watchful eye of the Grand Master. The novices here receive one of the most renowned courses in Japan, which can last several years. Zen is considered as the purest form of Buddhism. It returns to Buddha's original teaching, which advocates a return to simplicity and to nature. Dominique Buisson, a writer and photographer, is a specialist of sacred Japanese architecture.
Le Daitoku-ji est un des temples les plus importants du bouddhisme zen, particulièrement à Kyoto. C'est un ensemble monastique qui met en avantage cette nouvelle religion qui est arrivée au Japon. Donc c'est la forme la plus radicale. Ici, comme on revient à la base du bouddhisme, on revient à l'enseignement direct, donc à la communauté monastique, on n'a plus besoin d'images, plus besoin de textes sacrés, plus besoin d'ésotérisme compliqué. Ici, ce qui compte, c'est l'enseignement d'homme à homme, de maître à disciple.
After the morning communal prayer, the apprentices prepare for the most important part of the training, the private meeting with the master. The master will ask a question, a koan, a paradoxical riddle to awaken the intuitive understanding of the student.
Le novice, il arrive avec tous ses doutes, toutes ses peurs, toutes ses imperfections, et le maître doit partir de cette chose-là pour le révéler, pour lui permettre d'accéder à un stade où, potentiellement, grâce au koan, grâce à la méditation, il pourra peut-être avoir ce fameux satori, cet éveil temporaire, mais qui est si près du vrai éveil.
To reach enlightenment, that is to say the state of Buddha, requires intense practice, which is declined in each gesture of daily life, even the most insignificant. It must be done with as much fervor as possible to strengthen the ability to concentrate. Meditation is the other essential practice of monks. It takes place in these extremely simple rooms that highlight the geometry of the space and the nobility of the raw materials. Buddhist architecture reaches its purest form with Zen, where nothing is left to chance. An architecture mainly of wood, where the relationship with nature is omnipresent. The sliding partitions create with the exterior frame scenes that constantly evolve with the seasons. The rooms can be adapted to the needs of the monks and are connected by open corridors. These passages have a practical but also symbolic function. They are a metaphor for the different cycles of life. Daitoku-ji, also known as Ryuho-san, which means Dragon Treasure Mountain, is a gigantic ensemble made of 22 small private temples spread over 23 hectares. Surrounded by their gardens, each of these temples is like a world in itself, a world integrated into nature.
Ici, c'est un monastère. Ce n'est pas un lieu de visite. Les visiteurs ont droit quand même à 3 bâtiments d'exception. La porte monumentale d'entrée, qu'on appelle la porte du salut, qui est suivie par un bâtiment énorme qui abrite la statue de Bouddha. Et enfin, la salle de prêche, c'est d'ailleurs cette salle-là qui peut servir également, grâce à son acoustique fabuleuse, de salle de concert.
This preaching room is called the Hatto. It's a cube of perfect proportion. Today, an exceptional event is being prepared under the complicit gaze of the guardian of the place, the dragon. Stomu Yamashita, after a brilliant international percussion career, notably with Mick Jagger, returned to his hometown of Kyoto. He now performs with the monks of Daitoku-ji and is organizing a unique concert tonight. He became the master of Sanukite, the last to know how to play these stone percussions from another age.
It is for me a prodigious stone that connects me to prayer in Buddhism.
The Sanukite stone is a 13-million-year-old volcanic rock. It was used in the 4th century in China by Buddhist monks to announce the opening ceremonies.
What I finally seek through music is the world of sacred silence. I would like to hear it through the sound of Sanukite. I think that's the basis, the principle of everything. And it is this original principle that triggers inspiration in me. What is necessary to create the sacred silence? A sacred place. And the Hatto of Daitoku-ji is a space built specifically for sacred silence.
The Daitoku-ji was built at the time on the hills surrounding Kyoto. Since then, sacred architecture has set up in the imperial city. Today, temples and sanctuaries blend with the contemporary landscape.
Kyoto 1200 years ago, Kyoto was founded under the name of Heian-kyo, the capital of peace. It's a city that was built around the ideas of peace, security, and of safety. It has no walls. The historic cities of the world are almost all surrounded by ramparts. 1200 years ago, it was built without thought being given to separating it from the outside, without protection from outside enemies.
Although Kyoto is naturally protected by its hills, the entire Japanese archipelago, due to its geographical location, has long remained isolated from the Asian continent. It has thus been preserved from the great movements of civilization. When the first Buddhist missionaries arrived in the 6th century near Kyoto, they discovered islands where the cult of the spirits of nature was omnipresent. For here, men have always faced an all-powerful land.
日本人の信仰の中にはですね、
In Japanese
そういう
beliefs,
形で
mountains, rivers,
山
and
や
the
川、
sea are revered.
自然のそういう山や草や木ですね、そういういろんなところに
We
命
believe
が
that
宿るという
mountains,
ことで
grass,
す
and
ね。
trees
そ
are
して
alive.
神話なんかを読んでおりますと、結局
When we
す
refer
べて
to
その
myths,
同じ神
human
様から
beings, like
人間
nature,
も
are
そして
born
自然も一緒に生ま
divinities.
れてきているということですね。ですから
And that is why nature
自
and
然
human
も
beings
人
are
間も
considered
兄
brother
弟
and
のよう
sister.
なものだということで。
The presence of these spirits of nature, the kamis, is indicated by a torii, a massive wooden gate marking the border between the secular world and the sacred world. Scattered in nature, small ephemeral sanctuaries continue to shelter the kamis. Today, the Japanese still share their beliefs between Buddhism, which has become the state religion, and Shinto, the ancestral cult of spirits. Omiwa is one of the oldest and most important Shinto sanctuaries in Japan. It stands on the sacred mountain of the same name, a few kilometers from Kyoto. For 15 years, Hiraoka Masahiko has been the officiating priest of this sanctuary.
大宮神社は
The
よその
sanctuary of
他の神
Omiya,
社と
as
異
it is
なっており
located
まし
on one of the
て、
greatest
宮山とい
mountains
う
where
お
the
山を
kamis
非常に大切
has the
に神の
architectural
山として崇めておりますの
of
で、
not having a
要する
main
に
building as a
建物
central
に関
point
し
of
ま
the
しては
sanctuary.
本殿という
Here there
神
are
社で
only
一番中
buildings for
心に
those
な
who
る
come to pray to the
メインの
mountain.
建物はございません。
As in Daitoku-ji, Omiwa is composed of many temples scattered in nature. But here, there is neither master nor pupil. Spirits are everywhere, even in the material that makes up all of the structures.
Ici, il n'y a pas de pierre, il n'y a pas de briques, il n'y a que du bois. Donc on construit en bois. Donc à l'échelle de l'arbre, ces milliers de pièces de bois sont toutes assemblées sans clous, évidemment. C'est uniquement au chevillage, en insertion.
The millinery art of Japanese carpenters allows very complex realizations, entirely interlocked, creating bridges between spaces. The wood is sacred here. It is a living material that is beautifully maintained. Everything must be new to welcome the kamis. The Shinto celebrates the greatest stages of Japanese life, and until today, most birth and wedding ceremonies are celebrated in sanctuaries.
おそらく日本人というのはその自然に対してその命をいろんなところに命を見出してますから、それと同時にそういう命が生まれること、それからそれがやがて滅んでいく、そういうことに関してものすごく敏感であるということですね。
This link with the cycles of nature is common to both religions, Shinto and Buddhism, thus cohabiting in harmony. If nature is at the heart of Shinto beliefs, it is omnipresent in the practices of Zen Buddhism, but in a sublimated form. It is how the Daitoku-ji keeps within its sight the most astonishing and the most beautiful Zen gardens of Japan.
Dans le zen, on est à une
In
sorte
Zen, we have a sort of
de
sophistication of nature.
tout en
We
voulant
want to find
retrouver
nature,
la
but the nature
nature,
of
mais la
man.
nature de l'homme.
The Zen garden presents life, from birth to death and reincarnation, as a journey of discovery. Thus, life is represented by raked gravel, a symbol of flowing water and eternity. The rocks are mountains, which alter the current. Of moss, stone, or gravel, the garden magnifies the landscape of the temple. Its composition is a supreme art. Master Yamato, the superior monk, watches over the maintenance of these meticulous gardens.
だから建物だけであってもダメですし、この庭だけでもね、ダメで、実際に庭とこの本堂ですね、この建物がちょうど一体にしてるんで、やっぱり必要不可欠なもんだと思います。
The garden is a fundamental element in the design of the Zen temple. An essential support to meditation, it must be constantly in view.
.実際に枯山水ですから水は流れてないですし、滝も、ね、落ちてないんですけど、その滝の音、水の音をね、やっぱり聞かなダメなんです。
The daily maintenance of gardens is part of the practice in this constant search for perfection.
...2つの山はですね、私は清めの森綱っていうふうに呼んでます。日本では、玄関先にですね、森塩と言いまして、お塩を持ったりして、あれは清めなんですけどね。
In one of the most secret corners of the Daitoku-ji complex is a Shinto and Zen temple. Here were trained illustrious masters of Zen who developed the art of tea in the archipelago. It's early afternoon. Master Yamada Sosho, superior monk of Shinju-an, welcomes the architect Mr. Nakamura, a specialist of tea houses.
In Zen, we add do, the way, to the word tea or other arts like sado, the way of tea, kendo, the way of the sword, kodo, the way of incense, kado, the way of flowers. This do is a way to reach something. And I think that thanks to this tool, the common denominator, which is Zen, becomes somehow easier to understand.
お茶自身が禅宗からすごく影響を受けておるんです。そういう関係でやはりこれは切っても切れない茶禅一味じゃないですけど、私は同じだと思いますけど。
At the back of the garden, the Shinju-an Tea Pavilion is a quintessence of Zen architecture. Its small size makes it even more precious because the humility of the place is a sign of accomplishment. Ideally, the pavilion should evoke the simplicity of a modest fisherman's hut. Master Udagawa has long been a disciple of Master Yamada. Now a recognized tea master, he invites his master and the architect to a tea ceremony in this place steeped in history.
お客様を呼んで、お茶を出してもてなすというお話をさせていただいたんですけれど、その中で、日本人が非常に美意識を持って突き詰めていくところ、それからその突き詰めていくという中で精神修養の過程を経ていく。
Master Udagawa indulges in this millennial art under the gaze of his teacher. This practice especially helps the control and perfection of the gestures. Purified water is poured 3 times into a container before being gently mixed with green tea. The day will soon end with an unusual concert initiated by Stomo Yamashita in the Hatto. For the apprentice monks, this is a much-awaited moment, which is also part of their teaching.
この大徳寺
This building, the Hatto of Daitoku-ji, has many qualities. It is not only conducive to prayer, but it also completely awakens the 5 senses. It is a sacred building that has been nourished by the fervor of men's prayers.
This performance, called the Zen, brings together Zen monks and Shinto priests. It is a collective prayer for peace in the world. These secret teachings that have passed through the centuries.